Hi friends, welcome to Gallant IAS Geography. Today we're going to discuss what a lunar eclipse is. As a matter of fact, on 10th January 2020, we are going to witness the decade's first penumbral lunar eclipse. We're going to see all about it in a while. Today we're going to discuss what a lunar eclipse is, how it is formed and the types of lunar eclipse. Now, we all know eclipse involves three celestial objects: the sun, the moon, and the earth. And the relative position of these three celestial bodies gives you different kinds of eclipses. Broadly, we divide them into solar and lunar eclipse. Here we are going to focus entirely on lunar eclipse. Now, a lunar eclipse occurs when the earth's shadow falls on the moon. We all know the earth is revolving around the sun, and similarly the moon is also revolving around the earth because it's our satellite. And when it does, sometimes it falls behind the earth's shadow. As you can see from the image, there are two kinds of shadows cast by the earth. The first one is the more darker shadow in the center called the umbra, and the second one is penumbra, which is beyond the umbral region, which is a more light, diffuse shadow. Now, there are three kinds of lunar eclipses. The first one being total lunar eclipse. A total lunar eclipse occurs when the darker penumbral shadow falls on the moon, or in other words, when the moon moves into the umbral shadow region of the earth, and then you have achieved total lunar eclipse. In a total lunar eclipse, something peculiar happens. The moon becomes red. It's called a red moon. This happens because of the atmosphere of the earth. There are millions of particles, dust particles in the atmosphere of the earth, and these molecules scatter the blue rays and refracts the red. And the refracted red falls on the moon's surface and it appears red. That is a total lunar eclipse. Now, the second kind is a partial lunar eclipse, in which the moon moves into the shadow area of the earth, and it is an umbral shadow area, but it does not fully go into the shadow region. Only a part of the moon is covered by the umbral shadow region. So we have a part of the moon covered by the shadow and the another part which is visible to us as in the normal case. So there you have a partial lunar eclipse. Now the third kind, that is the penumbral lunar eclipse. As the name suggests, this happens when the moon moves into the penumbral shadow region of the earth. It is not in the umbral shadow region to be called a total lunar eclipse, but in the penumbral shadow region. This is a little hard to see because it only causes a very little dip in the brightness of the moon. So this is the kind of lunar eclipse that we are going to witness on 10th January 2020. The moon moves into penumbral shadow region, and if it moves into the umbral shadow region, we have a total lunar eclipse. And when a part of the umbral region falls on the moon, we have a partial lunar eclipse. Now, there is an ultimate question. Why don't we see a lunar eclipse every month? It is revolving around the earth, and as it goes, it should be sometimes behind earth with the sun in the opposite direction. Why don't we have a lunar eclipse every month or every full moon day? The answer to that question is the inclined elliptical orbit of the moon. In this inclined elliptical orbit, the moon is usually above or below the shadow region of the earth. Means the shadow region, both the umbral and the penumbral shadow, does not fall on the moon, and therefore you don't have a lunar eclipse every month. Now, before we end today's session, I just want to say that we understand your pain. Life of an IAS aspirant is really, really hard, and we are working really hard ourselves to ease your burden, to make it a little easier for you. Help us help you. Subscribe to our channel for more useful content on UPSC preparation. Thanks for watching. See you soon.